in this video, I will show you how to access your online data as well as access data after the assessment's been given in pre-built reports. To access your online data, go into your online test administration by clicking Administer Online Testing, and then here you can see all of your test administrations. You can get live proctoring information and data by clicking on live proctoring. This will give you a dashboard view of live data coming in as your students are taking the assessment, but you can always go back after the assessment is given and look at that data as well. And you can also see student information by clicking on Students, and this will give you information on start and stop times and how long it took on average for students to take the assessment. The aggregate view will give you an aggregate view of how your students performed on each of the questions, and you might find that information valuable as well. You can also find a lot of data with the pre-built reports that are populated within Illuminate. And to access these reports, go back into your assessment. And once you are in your assessment, you can access pre-built reports by clicking on the Reports tab to the right. Here you will see a list of all of the available pre-built reports, as well as where to start for teachers, site leaders, and district leaders. And in this section, you can find highlighted reports geared towards each particular role, what the data shows for each of these reports, and what types of questions can be answered within these reports. One thing to note, the student responses report can actually be found on the main page of the test by clicking on the blue percentage to the right. And this will take you to the student report. And one thing to note about the matrix report, some of you may or may not know that when you open up this report, you can also filter down by question group or by standard. And to do this, you would just select group by, question group, or standard, and then that will give you the matrix view by standard and by question group. The list of reports has a little information icon next to it, and this will give you a brief abstract of what the report entails and the purpose of the report. So for example, the student parent letter report, if you were curious to see what that report entails, you can click on the information icon, get a description, purpose, and who the audience is and what type of data is being reported, and determine whether it's the right report for you. Another report that I see teachers use often is the student small slips. And this just gives a brief overview of how the student performed on the assessment. If you haven't looked at the multiple assessment reports that have come out within the last year and a half, I recommend you take a look. There's some great multiple assessment reports that will give you a lot of great information. A couple of these that you may like are the multiple assessment percent correct by standard or question group, and this gives you a really nice overview of how the student performed on particular standards or question groups. And then also the multiple assessment longitudinal performance by standard or question group. And this gives a really nice overview of how the student has performed on particular standards or question groups over time. And as you can see, there are several pre-built reports to choose from. You should be able to find the data that you need in one of these particular reports, but If for some reason you're not finding exactly what you would like to see, you can always create a custom report. And if you need help with creating custom reports or have any questions on pre-built reports, please feel free to reach out so that we can help you find the data that you are looking for.